All right, good morning. So it is 7 a.m. the next day from when I saw you last. I have my protein coffee and we're ready to shape our loaf. Are you guys ready? Let's see what it looks like. So I haven't checked on it yet, so let's see. So I'd like to see it a little bit more puffy. It's been a little cold, but you know what? I think it's gonna be good. We don't want it overproofed. If it gets too much, it gets really sticky and it's really hard to work with, and then you turn it into focaccia. So I think let's go ahead and do this. All right, so I'm gonna flour the counter so it doesn't like stick. And then I use, see, here's our tools. I'm gonna use a cereal bowl and tea towel. This is the one I had the flour in last night. So I find the cereal bowl works better than the Banton. Like, I don't really like having to clean the Banton. The cereal bowl you could just put in the dishwasher. I also found keeping it in a small, tighter bowl gives me the like shape that I want. Instead of it like spreading out, it like goes up if I proof it in the fridge in a smaller cereal bowl. So here we go. So I'm just scraping it out with my scraper. I do use this tool quite a bit, but you don't really need a bunch of fancy tools. All right, so I am going to flour my hands. This step I really looked at quite a bit online. Man, people really get into it and get into preferences. I think I mentioned earlier that sourdough is pretty forgiving. So just have fun with it, play with it, do different things. So I'm gonna show you what I normally do. Like I like get it and like spread it out to be a rectangle. See how it's got, it's puffy. This one's puffy, it's got little air bubbles. So there's all kinds of different ways to do this, but this is how I do it. So I fold it in thirds. And then I roll it. The kids also really like this part too. They've had a lot of fun with it. I've had fun with them doing it. We've made pizza dough, so that's been fun. So you see how the side here? I need to tuck the side under. That way it's nice and tight. If you have any big bubbles, just kind of pat them in. You see, I'm just kind of like pulling it and making sure my seams are on the bottom. Ooh, this one's gonna be a really good one. I'm really excited to see how this one turns out with you guys tomorrow. So, you know, this is what you see in the movies, right? You're making your dough. I'm super critical now when I'm watching a movie and I see people making dough and I'm like, no, that's not right. That doesn't work. I always like give it a little pat, like it's my little buddy. You know, you don't really have to spend too long on this. I've already spent longer than I usually do just talking to you guys about it. See, there's a bubble here. I'm just gonna kind of pat it in. You don't want to break it. You definitely don't want to break it, but try to pat the bubbles in. Okay, that looks good. So I'm just gonna use a tea towel, my cereal bowl. I'm gonna flour it a little bit. Can you see what I'm doing? See? Thank you guys for hanging in there with me. This is one of my first like YouTube, like how to do something. I've never really done anything like this before, so I'm really excited how this whole little project turns out. All right, I'm gonna stick her in. I usually put a little bit on top, just give a nice little pat. I noticed I always do that. So this is ready for the fridge. So I'm gonna stick this in the fridge for at least 12 hours. So again, it's 7 in the morning. At this step also, I usually start my starter again so that I have bread for 2 days from now. So it's kind of fun, like I've like worked it into my day. I usually mess with it in the morning and then right before bed. So people do get kind of stuck in the sourdough process on the timing. So obviously do what works for you, but that's what works for me. If I mess with it before bed and then mess with it at the different steps, you know, first thing when I get up, then I have things going in all different stages. And that way I can give stuff away. And again, I really like to teach. If you ever have got a loaf of bread for me, this is the process. So it does take, not quite a bit of time, but it takes, a fair amount of time to like get a loaf of bread going. So I'm gonna stick this in the fridge and I'm going to bake it. I've baked it before within a couple hours if I really needed a loaf for dinner, and it was fine, it was great. The longer you keep it proofing in the fridge, the more of the sourdough flavor it gets. So I'm not quite sure yet how my day is gonna go. Today's the day off of school, so we have lots of fun things planned with the kids. It's a Monday, it's a holiday. So I'm not sure what I'm making for dinner yet. Maybe we'll eat this one for dinner tonight. So I'm gonna either bake it tonight or tomorrow morning. So I'll see you then.